Matt, what's it like having a valuable role on the offense in the offense, but not knowing exactly when that's going to take place?
Um, I know it might seem a little tough, but I'm always just prepared. Um, I'll sit with the starters, Nick, um, Luke, and just know we go through things just to perfection. And whenever my name is called, I'm just there.
What's it like off the field? Like, you've got this role, but how do you handle it off the field? How does it mentally? How do you handle it?
I just try to stay humble as possible. Still do everything I gotta do right. Watch film, ask questions, and give it my best in practice because it relates on game day.
What's it like during the game as you're just kind of waiting for the opportunity? I mean, I imagine that it's not pre-scripted when you go in all the time. So how do you kind of keep yourself in the game when you're not actually in the game?
I just try to be prepared. Usually just stretch a lot or just stay on top of coach. Just stay in the game and just don't get like focused away on it. But yeah, I'm always on coach's hip.
How different is that than you've been, I don't know, earlier in the year or in previous years when maybe you didn't know if you would have a role in the game?
It was always the same because you just don't know. And you just know things happen and you just don't know when it is. You just gotta always be prepared. So that's what I do.
How much do you talk to him about? Let's do this. Let's go. I'm ready.
I'll just tell coach every time, like, I'm ready to go. Don't worry about it. I'm just ready to go. And I showed him practice to let him know, like, I'm confident I'm ready to go.
How's the snapping at center going for you? How much practice are you getting with that?
I'm also doing that too, a little snapping here and there. Just going pretty good.
I think Ryan Day or Greg Stodrawa said it's difficult to get you action at center in a game because at that point in the game they don't want you in there because you're too valuable. But would you obviously you'd like to get some time at center, but do you feel like you need it in a game to be able to step in and do it in a game?
At this point, it's wherever the team needs me, I'm there. Right guard, left guard, center, I'm there. So wherever they need me at, I'm here.
Do you think you're rare?
I think I'm rare.
Rare, yeah.
Yeah. I do think I'm rare.
Why?
Just because it's a lot to think about and like soak in playing 3 different positions and know what to do, especially at a center position. And that's the thing. You just always got to be prepared. You don't know what's going to happen.
How often have you seen like the PFF grades and stuff like that about you?
I don't really look at those things, but I hear about them.
Matt, I know you said you were frustrated at the beginning of the year when you found out you weren't going to be a starter, but how much has that changed because you've been able to get some pretty regular playing time in
Yeah, it made some changes. I feel like I'm more like a part of the team, and I'm thankful for that. I'm just keep improving and showing coach that I'm capable of doing whatever he needs to do.
What is the difference for you between the 3 positions, the 2 guards and center? Like, how do you mentally handle playing a different position? Because some games you've played right and left guard. What's the difference for somebody who's never had to do that?
Everything has to do with like preparation and practice, and once you do it in practice, you can do the same thing in the game. And I just stay focused, even if I'm not in. I just just go through the steps in my mind as to who I'm supposed to block and the right technique to use. And yeah.
Do you rep it one more in practice? Do you rep it one position more in practice, or are you kind of?
I'm all over the place in practice, just to keep the motor going and keep my brain moving and thinking.
Could you play tackle too if they needed to?
If they need me to, yeah.
I'm sorry if you've already been asked about this, but I'm curious about, I guess, coming into this week. How has practice felt different just based on the size of this game? Or, I don't know, like, has practice felt different? Have your interactions with your teammates felt different because...
Not at all. I mean, we don't take no team for granted, and we all communicate as one, and that's one thing that we do well. Communication, especially as on the whole line, and yeah, it's the same.
What have you seen from Penn State's defensive line? Is it more athletic? Is it more athletic than you've seen up to this point, or how does it compare to the groups that you've played against?
They're pretty good. They're pretty fast, and they have great players in that team. Penn State is a team you can't take for granted, and you also have to be prepared. And they just go hard, and that's what we gotta do, especially in practice. Just go hard and just pick up the little things.
Do you feel like your high speed defensive line, or like, do you feel like your defensive line helps you guys prepare for?
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Just technique wise and footwork that we gotta use to stop certain things and whatever goes on. But yeah.
You mentioned Penn State's a team you can't take for granted. Obviously, back-to-back losses have kind of changed the outside opinion of this game. You guys seem to be still handling it as if this was a top 5 matchup. Why is it that you still think of Penn State in that regard, despite the last couple weeks?
We've seen a lot that goes on with the rest of the teams in the NCAA. And you just see sometimes there's teams that are great teams, but sometimes they might slip a little bit. We can't afford to slip. We just gotta take every team just like it's our last game or it's a big opponent.
Hey Matt, can you tell us a little bit about Kennedy Cook, what he brings to the table as an offensive line mind, how maybe some stuff that he's helped you with, just to give us a little bit better picture about him as a coach in person?
Cook is a pretty smart guy, knows everything. When you come to him, he guides you the right way and forms a technique and just film wise and everything. Like he's a great person and I appreciate him for that. He just gives it his all and he just helps us a lot.
Is he like more laid back, like business like, or is he fiery? What kind of?
Well, he brings juice to the team and to the unit. That's a lot what I like about him. Like we like the beginning of practice, sometimes we'll be a little shaky, just down, everybody's tired, but he brings the juice for us and I like that. Pretty good.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, man.